Luxxe here, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome sis. We are the Luxxe Club over on this side. We like to pray, we like to praise God, we like to shop, we like to do all that. We like to do hair, we like to do hauls. But if you are part of the Luxxe Club, welcome back. Today, I'm spilling a tea on everything that I learned in Arrogant Tay's masterclass. So I learned a lot in this masterclass. I'm not gonna lie, like y'all know I know how to glue my wigs on and stuff, but it was like small tips and tricks that he was doing that it really helped. His thinking of things is just really A1. Y'all already know I love Tay so bad. I love that man down. He's the love of my life. He's my best friend in my head. It's just obsessed. His class was very informative, and if he has another class, I'm there. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just follow me on all social media platforms, and let's just hop right into this video. Okay guys, so we are starting out with the frontal. This is what the frontal looks like from Amazon. I did dye this beforehand. If you want to know how I did this, you can go and look at my previous highlights video. So I pretty much just bleached the whole frontal, then I sectioned off the part where I wanted to keep light, used this Revlon color on it. And yeah, so the first thing that I'm going to use is my tweezer, my eyelash tweezer, and my comb. I did later on go out and switch out these tweezers because of this shirt that I had on the mannequin head. In Arrogant Tay's class, he said that he uses a white towel and he uses his knee to plug, but my back be hurting, so I cannot do that. So I would just put a white t-shirt, pinned it to my mannequin, put my frontal on top, and boom. So now we have that white surface. He says that it makes it easier to pluck that way and see what you're doing. So I'm just sectioning off the front because this is what Tay did. He sectioned off the front and he said don't touch that hair yet. Just all, you know, that'll be your baby hairs pretty much. So since this frontal is so dense, I'm just taking some water bottle spray that I have with conditioner in it that I use on my curly hair, and I'm just spraying that just so that I can comb it back and kind of see what I'm doing more, because the hair, as you can see, is really dense in the front. Oh, I wish I had a better angle on this, but I wouldn't have been able to like see what I was doing if I was to turn it and pluck, and then I would have to like kind of look in the, like I wouldn't be able to see. But pretty much what Tay was saying is that you don't start at the front when you part it. You start in the middle. So you pull from like the back of the hair. So you know how typically when people start plucking, they'll pluck like right at the front. Do not do that. Like kind of just go in between the hair and behind so that you can pluck and thin it out. And as you can see, that is what I'm doing. I'm not doing it right at the front. You know, going in between, I'm kind of sectioning it out. And he also said that when you get to the part where your temple is, that's where you want to thin it out the most, because on a natural hairline, the temples are more thin. Focus right now, most of it toward the temple area, because that's where it seems the most dense. And I'm pulling from the back, and then I'm just going to keep sectioning off and plucking from the back. So now I switched out my tweezers because I just felt like the other ones weren't working how I needed it to, y'all. Like, so I think it was the tension of the t-shirt underneath it was kind of making it you know, a little harder for me to pluck. So I got my regular tweezers and I just started busting that thing, and look at how the hair just started coming straight out. It made the process so much faster. So Tay also suggested, I'm just adding all this stuff in while y'all watching me pluck, but he also suggested to use HD lace, Swiss lace, or transparent lace. This is from Amazon. I don't think that this is either one. This is probably just like a regular medium brown lace. But yeah, he said that to get the best results to use the HD, Swiss, or transparent lace. So if you guys can find that, make sure, because right now there's a frontal shortage, and I don't know what's going on. This is the only place that had a frontal left on Amazon. Like, why y'all buying all the frontals though? Why y'all doing that? So plucking is a preference. So Tay, I feel like he plucks his hair. The more you pluck, of course, the more natural it's gonna look. But I also want my frontal to last a little bit longer. You know, they rich. They be switching out their frontals every week. They wear the wig, throw it out, or just, you know, never wear it again. But not me. So I need my frontal to last as long as I can. So I do pluck it for a more natural look, but I do not pluck it completely thin because I do want it to last, especially because there's a freaking frontal shortage. Now that I've sectioned it off and kept plucking, I'm just going to comb all the hair back. And as you guys can see, it looks way better now. And now I'm going to pluck. I'm still plucking from the back, guys. You know, with all the hair to the back. This is what Tay did. After he said that he was done like plucking, you pull all the hair back and you just do like one more overall pluck so that you can get that natural hairline that you want. I'm just showing you all the comparison of this side versus this side, and you can clearly see the difference. I'm just let y'all ponder on that for a second, because bam, I did that. And if you do want to pluck a little bit more, you can do that once you get the wig on your head, but this is just kind of my ideal pluck. And then I'm gonna go in with this hair dye as well that I showed you all, and get the roots a little bit. But I do the pinch test, so you see how I'm pinching the hair, and you can see how thick it is at the roots. I'll pinch it and then I'll pluck it to thin that section out, and that's pretty much how I will determine if I have plucked enough. So you seen the thicker side, and this is like the thinner side. I'm showing you all, look how it looks when I pinch it. Is way thinner than the other side. So that is how I determine if I have plucked enough in a section. So now I'm taking this Adore Black Velvet, and I'm just brushing this on the roots of my hair where it kind of got a little bit bleached from me bleaching my knots. So yeah, I'm just brushing that in with one of those little edge brushes that it has like one end the comb and one end the brush, and just brushing that in, then combing it through so that there's not a line of demarcation. I'm also going to apply this to the roots of my hair just to give it like a shadow. I would suggest using like a black permanent dye so that you don't have to redo this like after you keep washing your hair and stuff. But I don't have a black permanent dye right now, and this is just going to have to work. In the meantime, I'm going to use this, and then I'm just going to go get some Revlon. I think it's from Revlon, but it's like a root touch-up pen that Argente did use in his masterclass. So I'm just going to get that when this kind of fades away, because it is a rinse. But this is what I'm using for right now, just to brush that color in and just to give it a dark root and a shadow, and to cover up those little bitty, baby hair kind of areas where it got overly bleached when I bleached my knots. So guys, don't be nervous about the black dye that you see, like the little dots and stuff. It's actually on the t-shirt and not on the lace. And I'm going to lift that up so I can show you guys that it's not actually on the lace. But I just went in and perfected my part. This did come with a middle part already in it. So I just went in and kind of cleaned up the part, and then went back in with the black dye just to kind of clean it up and make it look as sharp as I can. I be having issues with doing middle parts. Like, I don't know, even in my real hair, my middle parts don't be completely straight, but I'm getting better with it. And yeah, guys, just trust the process. Practice makes perfect, right? So guys, I have done the ball cap method before. I will link the video down on my channel in which I did it. But the first thing that we're going to do is going to cut out the ear, and we're going to just make sure that we have that section off our ear. Be careful, because when you do cut this, it will run. So I started for like a small little slit and then kind of stretch it a little bit. Yeah, so before I did this, also I used some gel, and I just gelled my edges back. And instead, what Tay uses is glue. So he used the Hold Me Down glue by Erica J, but I'm just using some bowl hold because this is what I have, and I'm just applying the bowl hold to the front of my hairline, like a little bit above my hairline, and I'm just going to use a popsicle stick and spread that out. And when that dries clear, then I will be able to cut my ball cap. Now, I really like this over the Got2b spray because it's definitely faster. When you use the Got2b spray, I just feel like it's a little bit more messy, and it just takes longer to kind of dry. And also, when I took my wig off, my wig cap was still on, so kind of feel like this is probably a better hold to keep your ball cap down. So now that, look, it's grata, my nails is falling off. But yes, now that it's dried clear, I'm going to use my small scissor, and I'm just going to cut really close to where the glue is so that we can make sure that we look snatched and bald, the freak. And also, when you're doing the ball cap method, you want to make sure that you're cutting really close and getting all those little frilly ends that can be popping up. Tay also suggested that you do your hair before your makeup, but in this sense, I had to do my makeup first because I was rushing and we were on our way to brunch. But yeah, so in that case, I just avoided putting makeup on my forehead, or if you already have makeup on, just take like a makeup wipe, some alcohol, and clear off that section so that your cap can stick, and that is like, it's not a bunch of gunk in the glue. So now I'm just taking my little Got2b, and I'm just going to spray a little bit just to hold down those edges so that you won't see like those frilly edges, and I'm just using it on a cool setting on the blow dryer, high and cool. And I'm using the end of my rat tail. Now, in order to tint the ball cap, I'm using my foundation, but Tay uses LA Girl concealer. I didn't have a concealer shade that was dark enough to kind of tint this, but he uses the concealer, and what you want to do is apply it to the back of your hand first, and then kind of like rub the brush into it, and then apply it to your hair. Now, I didn't do that at first because I forgot. But yeah, make sure you apply it to the back of your hand first, and then kind of rub it in and lightly type it. Oh my gosh, why my tongue tied? Lightly tap it onto your ball cap. You can apply it over the glue because the glue is dried. And then you're going to take your lace. I'm showing you all my lace. And we're just going to do the same thing with the foundation or concealer, whatever you decide to use. And you're going to apply it to the back of your hand first. Rub it in, let it get warm, whatever. And then lightly tap the concealer or foundation into the lace. Again, do not use a lot. Use a very little bit, just to tint it. So now I'm going to use my scissor and just make that first cut, and then I'm going to use my eyebrow razor, and we're going to cut the edges of the lace. Now, Tay said to leave a little bit of lace, a little bit of excess lace, just because you'll need it. But yeah, just cut it as close to the hairline as possible, but don't cut it like up to the hair. Just keep that excess lace so that you can manipulate the frontal when you put it on. So yeah, I like using the eyebrow razor because it's more of a jagged edge, and you don't have to, it's less effort. If you use a scissor, you have to, do the jagged kind of scissor cut. But if you use the eyebrow razor, it's kind of just easier. It does it for you. And I think it's a little bit faster. So I'm going to use that bold hold again. And so I started doing this because I seen another girl do it. This is not how Tay did it. Tay just kind of does a straight line over it and just kind of just does it. But I seen a girl do this because Tay even said this in his class, that it's important that you get it on the cap and also like kind of on your skin so that it sticks to your skin, but also to keep the cap down. But I seen this girl do this 2-dot method, and I kind of thought it was a little bit better. For me personally, how I'm applying this second layer is how Tay does it. He just does it straight down and then applies it. So whatever works for you guys. But one tip that I've really learned from Tay that really was helpful for me was I was applying the glue and then letting that layer dry, and then applying another layer and then letting that dry. No, Tay said to just apply it, smear it, apply it, smear it, apply it, smear it. Then when it all dries clear, then you stick your lace down. And guys, this worked so much better for me. My lace did stick down a little bit, like, well, not even a little bit. It stuck down a lot better. I would definitely admit that because he said that when you let the glue dry, it gives it like the opportunity. You're like putting fresh glue on top of dry glue, so the lace is not going to last as long. So once you apply it and like smooth it out, don't wait for it to dry clear. Just apply another layer right on top of that. So I did 3 layers, and that is like probably the best tip that I have learned from this class. So keep that in mind. Don't do apply, let it dry. You do apply, smooth it, apply it, and don't use a lot of glue either. Like he said that we have a habit of thinking that the more glue you put, like the better the hold is. But he was saying like you really don't need to put that much glue. So I'm not putting that much glue. It may look like it, but I'm really not. The first layer is probably the most glue that I put, and then the second layer I'll put like a little bit less, and you just keep applying it and just, yeah, smoothing that thing on out. When that dries clear, I'm just going to apply the other side. So now the other side is down. I'm going to take my elastic band And this is already tied. I like to tie my, look, I almost killed myself. Look at me choking. But I like to already tie my elastic bands so that it's kind of easier for me. I put it on like a headband, but you want to make sure that it's tight so that you have that tension and it holds your hairline down. And that is what's going to help your hair like really melt. And y'all know I do this all the time. I love the elastic band. So I leave that on for probably like 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going in now and I'm cutting the sideburns. Now, typically, I cut the sideburns off before I apply the wig, but this is how Tay does it. And I don't know, this is a little bit hard for me, but, you know, practice makes perfect. And as I continue on, I feel like I'm, you know, be better at it. So after you apply the wig, I forgot to show this, but Tay did go in and apply more of the foundation or concealer that you used on the cap and underneath the lace onto the middle part of the hair. I wasn't able to record the rest, but pretty much this is what the hair looks like after I use the same steps to apply it. Now, when Tay starts to do his baby hair, he sections it off and he uses a hot comb and he combs through it. Now, guys, I was scared about using a hot comb because I don't want to burn myself. So what I did was I let my hot comb heat up and I pretty much unplugged it and let it sit for probably like a minute, and then I started to do this before I cut my baby hairs, just so I can get comfortable with, you know, using a hot comb. So if you, oh my gosh, you're doing construction. I'm sorry, y'all, but that just helps me get comfortable with the hot comb. Now I'm just going to cut my baby hairs. I couldn't find my eyebrow razor, but I would have done this with the eyebrow razor, but we're just going to cut down in diagonal motion. And I'm going to use some Got To Be spray to kind of push the hair back. You can also hot comb it after you use the Got To Be to make sure that it's nice and sleek looking. But this is what I'm just going to do for right now because I already unplugged my hot comb and I did not feel like plugging back in. So yeah, guys, this is what I'm going to do. And this is another secret that Tay revealed in his masterclass. So he uses a flat iron and he curls his baby hair to help tame it a little bit better. And I love this because this caused my baby hair to not look pasted down. It just looks really cute and more natural. So I'm just going to go in and curl my baby hairs, y'all. You can curl this as many times as you need to get that shape that you want. But yeah, just make sure you use that little flat iron and curl the hair. And I really did this for the sideburns because I love the way that he does Jada sideburns, how it's kind of like really full and it just kind of flows and curls. So yeah, guys, just keep watching. This is what I learned in my best friend class. I just sprayed a little bit of Got To Be on my toothbrush and I'm using that to help train my edges. So what I realized worked for me was to apply most of the Got To Be spray or the root of the hair. For the bottom, I kind of just like freely let it whisk off. So I will focus most of the product on the root of the hair so that it can stick down. But then you see that the ends are a little bit more wispy and curled. And I love this look. This is how it came out. It's just bomb. Like, I'm just definitely going to be using this baby hair method. And as I do it more, I'm going to show you guys every time when I do it because y'all asked for another baby hair tutorial. Here it is. New and improved Advocate Tay. Approved. The freak. Really enjoyed it. I hope that this was very informative to you, but I love the baby hair. I love it. Like, I normally love how I do my baby hair, but this little wispy, like, it's just, he's the genius. Like, and I had this sitting in my thing forever and I don't even use it. I had 2 of them. I gave it all to my mom. I don't even use it and now I have a reason to use it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Thank you for 1K, you guys. And it's up and stuck from here on out. We just keep going up and we keep going up, and I'm gonna try to be as consistent as possible. I do have a couple uploads that are in store for you all, so just stay tuned. Don't forget to tell a friend to follow Imani Luxxe, and don't forget to always stay luxurious.